How you doing? I don't think anyone's 100% after week one, or week one of training camp, So that's no excuse for us playing the way that we did today. And, we got to be better, and we will be better.
Did you feel like the shoulder affected some throws?
I don't know if it's that or, me trying to get more practice reps or whatever it is. And whatever it is that I have to do, I'll do it. But I just don't want the shoulder to be, an excuse for the way that we executed today.
What would you point to as the biggest detriment today?
Ooh, there's a couple things that we talked about as offense. Obviously, you know how I am. I keep a lot of those things in close. But I felt like second half we had the right mindset. With how poorly we did in the first half, and we were like, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. And just really inconsistency right now. It's just too inconsistent for the standard that we set for ourselves. And the inconsistency isn't going to get you wins in this league, especially against a good team like that. So we got to get it right. We got to get it right now. And yes, there's a lot of football ahead, and yes, there's a lot of games, but our focus is right now, and we got to fix it now.
Are you surprised through 4 games it's bad offensively for you guys?
Yes, very. But we'll get it right.
Without giving away like team secrets or anything, just internally, what hasn't clicked for you? Do you think so far?
Oh man, you know me. I keep them all conversations and corrections and all that in close. And so for me, I can say there are a couple things that we've talked about that we're addressing, that we're going to work at, and we're going to get better. But it's not like there's anything. I'll say it this way too. It's not like that we don't know. You know what I mean? We're locked in. We're focused. And we got to get better, but we got to get better faster than we are at this pace.
What do you expect from the leadership of this team this week?
Oh, we're going to bring it. We were already talking about it. Because immediately after fresh after you want to address. Okay, how was the week? How was the game? All the things we talked about, right? And so. I expect us to come ready to work. That's for sure.
Hey, you guys have Alvin back?
Sorry?
Nice to have Alvin back?
Yeah, absolutely. Alvin's an unbelievable player, and just wish we could have, I could have got it to him in different ways or better or anything like that. Because he's fun to watch play.
Hey, Dave, when we talked to Pete Carmichael every week, he always talks about he has to be better. Is there anything that you see that he could be doing better?
No, I love Pete. It falls on us as players to execute for him.
When you mentioned Alvin, you threw to him 13 times today, which is obviously a big number. Was that a credit to Tampa Bay's defense for kind of being all over it? I mean, was that a big part of the game plan, obviously, and it just they matched up well against it? Or?
Well, there were some things that obviously designed, for certain reasons, designed things that we were trying to do, to try and get him in space and things like that. And there was, they did a good job of trying to stay on top of some things. And really, that's when he comes alive, right? So they playing 2-man, playing, cover 2 different kind of ways and getting on top of our speed and things like that. So that was one of the instances where, like, hey, Chris may have 100 this week. Well, Alvin may have 13 targets. It's just, I wouldn't say it was just the design, but that's what can happen when teams want to play a certain way.
And then can I ask you about the 2 throws? I think it was the beginning of the third quarter. I think he kind of saw that Chris broke wide open and
Yep.
he didn't quite get that one to him.
Yep.
Was that your timing wasn't?
Yeah, that's just on me.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously, then the next play you threw it 55 yards, so the shoulder had that strength. And
I think I was just angry.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is that true? I mean, was he the primary on that, or was that you wanted to get one back?
I just felt like we had an opportunity for a big play, and I did everything I could to try and make that play.
Derek, was there a Green Bay hangover at all? Do you think after a loss like that, it's kind of hard to get over with?
I'm not sure. I didn't get to finish that game, so the emotions and the feelings and all that in the locker room, I didn't feel that. After the game, I wasn't at the locker room. But I felt like we came to work. But there's coming to work and bringing it, and there's coming to work and bringing it and executing at such a high level that we need to do in practice. And I fully expect our guys come ready to work and do that.
Dennis, you guys work, Dennis, I'm sorry, Derek, you
That's
guys
all
work
right.
with the short outsides a ton. You said, I mean, I know you're talking about Alvin, but just in general with everybody, that was the design to maybe not necessarily go upfield, or are you saying that they just sort of took it away from you?
Well, they were trying to in specific areas, and some of those throws end up happening for certain blitzes and protections that they have one more than you can block, or they brought it a different way, and then the protection was going, or something like that. So if things were set different or we did something differently, the ball would have went somewhere else. But in that two worlds colliding, that's where it ended up happening. So they did a good job of trying to stay on top of our speed and just finding areas to get guys the ball in space and let them work. And we had some opportunities, but we didn't make the most of them for sure.
At what point this week did you feel like you were ready to go?
I'm sorry?
At what point this week did you feel like you were confident, ready to go?
Sunday night. Yeah, I made that decision in my mind. I was going to be ready to go.
When did your body and the doctors confirm that that was realistic?
I will let the doctors answer those questions.
DA had mentioned that there was some soreness. Okay.
No, go ahead. I'll come back.
DA had mentioned that there was some soreness in the shoulder. Is there any concern for next week, or was that just about getting back up to the first time?
No, I mean, it's football. Everything's going to be sore. And so I'm going to do my best to get ready to go this week and, hopefully be ready for practice on Wednesday. And if not Wednesday, Thursday. And I'm going to do whatever I can for our team and, for our city.
Derek, what do you feel like is
Sorry. She was next.
Kind of asking what he was going to ask, but also we were talking about some of the short, quick throws. Was that designed so that maybe you'd be able to get the ball out faster to take less hits given the status of your shoulder right now?
Yeah, I mean, that'd be a better question for the coaching staff. For me, I'm just trying to execute, my best ability. And I just didn't think I did that good enough.
What do you feel like is the number one thing that the offense has to do ultimately to start clicking and getting scored into the end zone?
We need to execute the play called at a 10 out of 10 level from all 11 guys. And so whenever play is called, everyone needs to do their job, right footwork, right eyes. There's so much. I could talk about one play in here for the next hour, and there's so much that goes into it. And it's the details of that. And we need to do that for DA and for Pete. We need to execute better for them as players.
There were a couple of drives that stalled in the first half when you guys weren't moving the ball. I think 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, where you kind of actually had some time in the pocket.
Yeah.
And I mean, were you hoping this is an opportunity to finally get that and things just weren't materializing, or?
Yep. There was I know what you're talking about because they played a couple coverages where they had cover some things, and I tried to make a couple throws there. There were tight windows, and we just didn't hit them. And so, Pete made a good adjustment when they were playing a certain coverage, and we were able to hit the next 3rd down on something. And so, we're growing, and we're learning. Too many growing pains right now, though. This it hurts in my heart because it's just not. It's unsatisfactory. The level of excellence that we operated at times in training camp, and OTAs, like we need to get back to that for sure. But our coaches do a great job putting plans together, making adjustments for us. We got to make more plays for them.
And what's preventing getting back from that? I mean, week 4, I feel like some of this stuff to be ironed out.
No doubt. It's a good question. And there's a lot of things going on in my mind that I'm not going to say. But I think it comes back to us just taking a breath and executing at the highest level. It's like the most cliche thing ever. But if everyone just does their job, we'd feel a lot better right now.
How did not having both Juwan and Foster impact the offense for you?
Well, thank goodness we, very versatile room where guys can plug and play in certain spots. Obviously, you lose some plays and some personnel things, when guys just aren't there, just based on body count and numbers. But I think that Jimmy and Taysom did a great job of filling roles and stepping up and being in there, blocking, running. Taysom does literally everything, and then some today because he had to, right? And so, I'm proud of those guys and dealing with that adversity. But things you planned on. I think the only thing that changes is things you planned on. If they don't play, then you have to go to something else.
That's super short passing game. That's not who you expect or want this team to be, right?
No, I don't think any of us want that. Especially, with the guys that we have in our room, and so as you can tell, I got angry and launched one. With two guys on Chris, but he ran by him and we almost had to play, right? And so, we're going to do everything we can and find ways to do that for sure. Spread them horizontally and vertically, make everyone cover every blade of grass. And there was a few opportunities where we tried to, but they did a good job on a couple of those where they covered them, and we did have to check them down today, and we did have to get off the spot on some things, and I missed one up the sideline, and so there's a lot of things that we can point at, but it all comes back to everyone just doing their job at a high level.
Derek, if you're not practicing until Friday, you're not sure you're going to play this Saturday. Is that going to put a cap on what you guys can do game plan wise, or?
I don't know. That's like for the coaches. This is a better question. I'm sorry. I wish I could answer that better for you. Because of the mindset of that, like I'm rehabbing, I'm studying, I'm just getting ready, and whatever's put in front of me, I'm trying to execute that for them. And so, for them and the decisions they have to make, and allowing me to play or whatnot, the game playing, that they'd be able to answer that better than I would.
I think at the time, like, you shot 14 times so far in 4 weeks. I mean, how would you put that in perspective? Is that, I know it's not ideal, but is it an urgent problem, or?
Yeah, it's not ideal, but it goes. I'm gonna put them all on me and try and find a way to get the ball out, make it easier on them, make a better call. Whatever I can do to take the pressure off of them and make them, help them. But I thought they did a great job today, and I think that they're getting better, and I'm excited, for their mindset and where they're headed.
Was there anything in particular that made it tough to get the ball to Chris Olave today? I think one catch on 6 targets, so you were trying to get him involved.
Yeah, there was. Shoot, he catches, a couple of those. There was one I think he lost in the lights late. There was the deep one, the one I missed him on my right side. There's opportunities there, and so it's not. I'm not like, oh my gosh, we had opportunities, and Chris and we didn't make those plays.
Offensive line came into this game already down a player, then had another player leave. How do you feel the communication and everything went even after losing those?
Really good. We got a lot of guys that even you plug and play, a lot of veterans, and so whenever you have a lot of veteran guys on the line, you got a lot of guys that communicate. They've seen a lot of looks. That usually helps the guys that have to come in, play faster, play better. Usually when there's no communication up there, because it's usually due to lack of experience. But we have some experienced guys that communicate really well, and so I thought they did a good job.
Derek, did you take any hits or fall on your shoulder at all today?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But yeah, yes.
Any pain?
All the hits hurt in the NFL, and I'm just doing my best to get ready for the next play in the next game. Good. Thank you.